Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett, and today I'm going to get into another digital forensics video, and I'm show you what the investigators, digital forensics investigators, FBI, cops, and whatever, what they see on their end when after they got your information, whatever it may be, but what they see as far as emails goes. This is fairly important because if you're looking into getting into this field or where it may be, you might want to know what you're going to be looking at most of the day. And I figured that this is the best way to show it, the actual equipment. Now, in this, this is one of my class projects into this. This is actual tools that's used in the field, but this is one of my class projects, and it's basically a group of people is trying to get into a bank by infecting the bank with some malware. In return, that they will have access to things like the vault and whatever whenever they do their heist. For some weird reason, they got caught. Their information is cataloged and whatever, and it's up to you as a digital forensics person to go through it and find all the little bits of information, put them in jail, and to stop any future plans if there is any. So with that, this from our end on the digital forensics area, this is what things look like. So you may notice like Outlook and whatever, it has a different look where you have the send, receive, compose new emails and stuff like that. Since we're not concerned about composing new emails, about sending any emails out or anything like that, we don't have any of those features, but we do have most of everything else. Now note that this is one of the programs that looks at the stuff and groups it together in this format as far as being able to see it fairly easily. And we even get to see whatever attachments that are available. So what happens, like with right here, this is a Trojan horse program. What a Trojan horse is, for those of you who don't know, is basically a Trojan horse is a malware program that is attached into either a legitimate or illegitimate product. So basically you would think that you're installing something, I don't know, a game or something else. Like say for example, if you got they did a man-in-the-middle attack where they redirected you to something like you on a company computer said, oh, I want to go on Facebook, and then they did a man-in-the-middle attack and said that, oh, you're trying to go to Facebook. So it has you go to this given site, which will take you to Facebook's little thing, but in front of it, it'll put something. Do you want to get notified on whenever you get new messages or whatever? Because this is what ISPs can do, is they can force images and stuff like that on top of it, force advertisements, their own personal advertisements and stuff like that on a given web page. And what happens, and for some reason that's legal, but what happens is the person says, yes, I want to get notified for whenever a new Facebook message comes in. So they install whatever program. It might actually do that, but on top of that, it will do this. Or the program might not work at all, but it will have this somewhere within as far as a Trojan horse. Then on their end, they're able to use this. This is what they will see, and they would actually go ahead and track or control if it's like a rat or whatever, they control or they can track or do whatever. In this case, it seems to be more of a rat. And basically, they can actually pull up whatever information they want and whatever it may be. A rat is a remote access tool or remote admin tool, depending on who you talk to. But a rat basically allows the person to have full control. In this case, it actually kind of does look like that with the with being able to kill programs and whatever it may be. So with that, you have things like that where you can pull up the attachments and see what was sent back and forth between each other, documents and whatever it may be, and hidden stuff within the documents that you as a person might not even know. But if you're not using a program like this, then it's going to look something like this. It's a lot more chaotic. I personally don't like it as much, but this is more than not what you will run into. But this is the same message. So notice with this, it says the deep throat is nice. And then if we go to Here the Deep Throat is nice. It's the same message. It's just within the code format. So with that, basically what happens is you're able to pull up whatever information. It's just one. It's a lot more friendlier on the eyes than the other. Like right here, we're able to do this. But also notice that point blank, I'm not able to pull up some information without taking a look at this, which gives the hex and all the other stuff. So as far as the emails goes, I'm going to be using this as an example because it's just easier to take a look at. But with the emails, it obviously does the attachments, what's the attachments and stuff like that. But also it gets into the IP addresses. So this is something that's less used today. What happened back in the day, and what happens in company systems and stuff like that, you'll find this in company systems more than this, is what would end up happening is it will use your actual IP address to your home or whatever to say where it originated from. Back in the day, it used to be more like that. What's happening now is it's more of the server, the Gmail servers, the Microsoft servers for Hotmail, whatever. The servers itself, that's where you'll get your information. Your IP address. So what used to happen back in the day is you can take a look at the IP address, and that would actually say where is the actual place of the sender, not where did the sender send it from as far as what service did they use, but where was the actual computer at a time that they when they sent it. So what's happening now is whenever you send something either through a web browser or through something like Outlook, in many cases, what happens is the system, it sends all the information it would need to for like the old time's sake. But the new systems, it takes a look at where is it going, the subject, the message, content of the actual thing itself, and it stores it within there. And what happens is the IP address is of Gmail servers or Microsoft servers or something like that. So actually going by the actual IP address anymore is kind of like out of date in many cases. Obviously, things like in India and many of these other places, they ain't caught up with the times, and you can still use it in many of those other places. But even then, it's just a matter of time before they catch up on all their stuff. And many company servers, they're moving over their email servers from a localized email to something like Gmail taking care. Like with my stuff, instead of me having a email server at my house or hiring a particular email system out there, I can go through Google and just pay whatever monthly and any my email stuff, it goes through Google filters out spam and stuff like that, and it helps massively with that. And that's where many companies are going to. So instead of you taking care of the email servers itself as a system admin, you're going to find more and more that's not going to be the case anymore. In fact, you're probably going to find that many system admins are going to be contracted out because more and more of those jobs are going to be outfaced by these third-party services like Gmail, whatever it may be. So this is becoming less and less a thing that's being used, but it's still probably going to always be logged to some degree. Especially, like say for example, if the thing says right here, it says Hotmail whatever, so it's a Hotmail sent to another Hotmail. So basically, Hotmail should know its own IP addresses, its own server IP addresses. So if it says it's Hotmail sent to another Hotmail and it's not the right IP address, none of the listed IP addresses, then what happens is it will mark it as spam or flag it for review or whatever it may be, because obviously something's not right. So that's always going to be there, but find out the actual location, physical location of the person when they sent that. It's kind of going out the door. Now, as far as things goes, there's I like this program a lot more because it's just easier to deal with. But as far as this thing goes, as I mentioned in previous videos, even if you delete something, you can still pull it up. So that's something to keep in mind. All these things with the X on it is stuff either in the trash bin or deleted but still on the system. The thing to keep in mind is it doesn't matter if you're using a solid state drive, a hard drive, or whatever it may be. The fact of the matter is how deletion happens is everything is earmarked, and what happens is whenever space is needed, so say for example you're downloading a new program or uploading pictures to your computer or where it may be, well, what happens is as it needs it, it will start writing over these other areas, but what isn't written over or what isn't majority written over, because partial information can still pull out the entire thing, but what isn't majority written over, well, you can pull that information out, so you can undelete it, so to speak. The thing to note is if it's partially deleted, so say for example if it's partially written over portions of it, instead of the picture you're being able to get like a full HD version of the picture, it'll be a little off here and there, but for the most part you can tell exactly what's going on. So instead of like a 4K video, it's now a 720. So it's a little bit off, but you know, there's well more than enough to convict someone with what is there. That's something to note into itself. But anyways, as far as that goes, I just want to mention that there is tools like this out there. It's probably going to be one of the last videos I do within digital forensics, since I'm pretty much over with this class, and the next project is mostly just finding a firewall. And I might make a video on that or not, but with that being in mind, hope that you like these videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a great day. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, as thing to note is some files and stuff like that, if you go ahead and print stuff off, depending on what type of program you use and what type of system you use, like if you use like a Macintosh, some versions of Photoshop and whatever, it actually changes the file itself. You can actually see how many times certain files were printed off. If it was shared, when it changes computers, you can see that who was all the people who it's seen. It tracks the MAC address in some cases. There's things like that can happen. So it's important to note that there is no real privacy when it comes to things like this, and even down to whenever you print something off and whatever it may be. I figure I might as well mention this since it's going to be one of the last digital forensics videos, and I don't know if I'm going to cover it in a formal class in the future. But say for example, if I was printing this off, most printers, what they have is dots within them. I obviously don't have it in front of me to show you, but it tells you what printer it was printed from. Even down to if it's like a company printer or a government printer, it tells you who was logged in and all the other stuff. So basically you can figure out exactly what printer things were printed from, who printed with it, and whatever it may be. This was implemented years and years back when the concerns of ransoms and actual hostage ransoms were in play and all the other stuff. And that way they can say, oh, Joe Blow, whatever, that bought this printer at whatever store, they print the paper came from that particular printer, so they can do an investigation to figure out, okay, did they sell the printer to someone else, or was that them that did the hostage situation? And what ended up happening is you can figure out where the hostage is through those type of methods. It's very neat. It's actually very, very neat when you look through it, but it's also very important to note that there really is no privacy at all when it comes to these type of things. If someone wants to find something, they can definitely find it. Just keep that one in mind. And because most judges and stuff don't know jack when it comes to this type of stuff, it's easily to manipulate some of this information before it gets there. So if you're in a corrupt government environment, that's also one thing to note. Because most judges and the average person doesn't know this type of stuff, or to an extreme degree as far as what's modified code versus not, and how to find all the earmarks of something being modified. The fact of the matter is if you're dealing with a corrupt government or like some type of mafia type of deal, even here in the United States, like if you had like the mafia that had actually technology expertise into that want to frame you for whatever, they can easily do that. That's one big thing to note. It's very difficult, but privacy wise, and it's very easy to screw someone over with stuff like this. But anyways, checking you out next video, and hope that this one helped you out.